I'm going to be talking about why your internship experiences and your job experiences are basically mostly what matter in your life going forward. Um, yes. Yeah, so it may sound harder or harsh, but it needs to be said, and this is just my take on this presentation. I'm just kidding. I'm going to talk about why you're going to be just fine navigating through college and your career and still have a life. My name is Ayesha Mishra. I graduated class of 2017, so I'm also a Green Griffin. And it's so nice to see you all here. Thank you for coming. So a little about me. I double majored in biology and environmental studies. I graduated a year early. I don't recommend that unless you've made up your mind. It was for financial reasons, but oh my god. I was an international student. While I was here, I didn't have the best grades, so you should keep this in mind while listening to me. I had a part-time job here at the health center, and I went to grad school. Somehow that happened, given my grades. And I now work at an environmental consulting firm, and it's my dream job, and it's amazing. So the beginning of sophomore year for me was easily the most difficult. There was so much going on because you're no longer a first year, so you're sort of expected to know how things work. But at the same time, like you're only a sophomore, you just got here. So most of the time, I had no idea what was going on. Fun fact, so the first day back, everyone was asking me, what did you do over the summer? And I was like, oh, spent time with my family. It was really nice, yeah. And then I'd ask them, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I had a great internship in Tokyo. Someone else would be like, yeah, no, I was volunteering at the animal shelter all summer. And I was like, you're supposed to do that? I didn't know that. So if you knew that already, you're way ahead because I thought all of that stuff was to get into college. And once you were in college, summers were summers. No. So if you're getting asked that question right now and you're not answering, it's okay. It's okay if you don't have an internship thing already in your resume. Who cares, honestly? You're fine. So this was mentioned earlier, but my friends were always, on top of everything. They always had those color-coded notes and highlighters, all of that. And I would think, wow, like they have their life together. And there I was with like my one-page, like crumpled up note from last week for some random class. So on the surface, they were, perfect. And in my first 2 years, I would constantly compare myself to these people. And they were my friends, so I was happy for them, but at the same time, I would think, all hope is gone because I'm never going to be at that level, and they're interning in Tokyo. So I'm done at this point. It led to some really toxic and unproductive thinking. So if you catch yourself comparing yourself to your roommate or your best friends or even your classmates, stop yourself and be like, stop. It's not productive. So just really quickly, in my first year, most of the time I would ask myself, like, what's going on? Because I literally had no idea. It was because I had 2,000 unread emails from all of the deans and presidents. But I somehow, yeah. And I just didn't enjoy studying in my first year, so I just didn't do that. And then I would feel sad about it half the time. The other half, I would really hate myself and be like, wow, my life sucks. And I had no internship in that previous summer, so why am I here? My second year, the first half, I was sleepy, grumpy, the seven dwarfs. One thing that I did a lot in my first year was bombard myself with these crazy extracurriculars that I don't even know why I did them, but when you're at the org fair, you think, yeah, I'll sign up for all of this. And then you feel guilty if you don't show up to the meetings. So then you have no time to study. That was my first year. My second year, I started to cut back on that, and I decided to focus it on things I was actually good at. So if you start doing that, you'll like yourself more. So when I cut back on that, I had more time to talk to professors. And if you haven't done so already, you should start talking to your professors after class, just because they're so cool. And I mean it. They're so cool because they actually want to listen to you and they want to help you. So I started building this foundation in my second year, and I turned all of that pity into forgiveness because I am a human being. I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I'm allowed to be tired. So, less pity, more like it's okay. And I created incentives for myself, like sort of like how a puppy functions. Like you gotta give treats to, yeah, I did that. And Rayo's was my expensive incentive. Um, my second year, I had improved grades. Improved as in when you picture a plateau, there's like a small bump. That's what it was. I did figure out my majors towards the end, and I did need to graduate a year early. So there was always that like crazy, yeah, it was horrible. But I still worked at the health center. Um, Fun also, in my second year, I still didn't land an internship until the middle of the summer. So for you guys, it'll be, yeah, you figured it out. Yeah, so it's hard for me, yeah. I stumbled upon an internship with a professor at UMass. It all worked out. It was also the only internship I had while I was here at Mount Holyoke, so it was good. And this motivated me to plan my junior year. So that was, you sometimes you just need that one thing to work out, and then you're like, yeah, like I can probably graduate. It might work out. So in my final year, which was my junior year, it's very confusing. But my last year here, I had decent grades because ultimately all people care about is did you improve over the semesters? Even if it's a little, as long as they see improvement, that's good. So that's what I was doing. I cut it down to one extracurricular, which was being class president. So it was one extracurricular. But by then I had figured my life out enough to have some idea of what to do, what not to do. The health center was still going on, great work. And by then I was spending 3 or 4 hours per week with different professors, just harassing them, like, what should I do with my life? Like, what do you think? And a lot of them suggested grad school, and I said, all right, that's a good idea. And they even helped me compile lists of grad schools that I could apply to. So the quicker you start talking to your professors, the more they'll know you, the more they'll help you. And they wrote my recommendation letters. It was great. And in February of my last year, I got into 2 of the 3 schools that I applied to. So I was like, wow, like I'm actually good at this. Like I figured life out. So knowing that I was going to go to grad school, that somehow even pushed me further. So my grades in my last semester were really good. So just hang in there. It'll get better. So some really quick things that you can try out that are immediate. If you feel comfortable having an online presence, you should create a LinkedIn right now, like today. Do it. It takes 5 minutes. And if you need inspiration, look at mine. It's the only good thing I've done while I was here. I mean, like it's a great school, but if you don't care, you just yeah. So I created my LinkedIn. I created my personal website, which is very pretty. Content-wise, I don't know, but it's very pretty. And yeah, just establish an online presence. So try to Google, people and like see how things show up. Go do your incentive program. Like go to the mall every time you finish a paper or something. Just treat yourself whenever possible. Go to the greenhouse, as I mentioned in my bio, for some oxygen when it gets colder. And more long-term things, try to get like one leadership thing that you can just brag about in interviews. Get maybe one, if you're like, whoa, get 2 internships while you're here. 3, like I don't know how Kaden did all of that. It's like, wow. Try to network as much as you can. But if like, what's networking? It's like they just throw that at you. So networking is knowing 1 or 2 solid people who you can rely on. So I'm one of them now for you guys. So you can always reach out to me because I am an alum, and all alums are wonderful. Just talk to them. They're so nice. Um, Learn how to speak confidently. Establish strong friendships. Be forgiving and use Mount Holyoke's resources as much as you can, like the CDC. You should go for a mock interview as soon as you can. It changes you. And when I say establish strong friendships, be nice to first years, and I'm going to talk more about that later. So I know I'm like talking so much, but major reflections. Appreciate Mount Holyoke. Professors are your friend. Say no to things. Eat well. Why wouldn't you? You paid for it already. Compete with yourself, not with your buddies. Does no good. Help firsties out because one day they will become the CEO of a company and they're going to interview for that same CEO position and they're going to hire you because you were nice to them. That's how it works. And have a balance. So with this, as you can see, grades and internships are important, but certain things are even more important, like your social life. That's networking. You're networking right now by being here. Have self-confidence. It goes a long way when you're in an interview and you're talking nicely about yourself. You're not like, yeah, I mean, I have a 4.0, but like, whatever. So learn how to project your strengths and have those connections. Thank you.